I am doing this screencasting just so that you have a fallback to understand how to create the cut on the new website, which I have built. So also feel free to drop me any email that you have or any questions that you have to my email, obviously, or give me a call. I'll send that through in an email later on. But let's get started. So, in order to be able to edit the cut, this is you need to go to the new website, which is fairly simple. So it will right now it's this URL, but it will be independentresearchforum.com. The same as it is currently. So if you would go to that website, you would then see this. And I've set you up with both with admin accounts. So let's log in as Richard. With the password, which I will email you imminently. Once you log in, you'll see a page like this. It says, "Welcome back, Richard," and a box to say, "Sign out directory, contact us." Well, what I want you to do is, at the end of the URL, so it will say independentresearchforum.com, I want you to add in admin, like that. This will then take you to a page that looks very much like this, and this is where we can edit all kinds of things on the site, create new things, new events, new employees, whatever you want. For you guys, the most important thing is to be able to edit subheadings, the cut editions, articles, headings, and subheadings. So I guess self-explanatory. The cut edition is the edition that of the cut, so 107, or I think that's the next one. The articles are the articles that sit within the edition of the cut, and then the subheadings and the headings are obviously the headings are the major headings, and the subheadings are the ones below the major headings. So if we were to look at the cut version here, you can see 106. The major headings would be IRF podcasts, company sector research, and so on and so on. Where else are we? Well, there's not another one in there. But they're the major headings. And then the subheadings are actually Europe, North America, basically that. And then you have your title for your articles as these. So Vantage Towers, or for example, Nut Stuff, No Nonsense, Just Common Sense, Stock Ideas and Analysis. And then this will be the article itself with the links and the provider. So if we go back here, the first thing I want you to do is to create the edition. So if we click on the cut editions on the left hand side here, you'll see all the editions so far. These are all old ones, and they just link out to the PDFs that we've been currently making. But as of now, we will be hosting them on the site so that it's a bit more interactive for people to read and we can see what people are looking at. So in order to create a new edition, you would click Add New, and you would add in the edition number. So the next one will be 107. The overview would be the bit at the beginning that sort of introduces the edition. So whatever you would want that to be, let's just say this is edition 107 of the cut. Welcome, for example. Keywords is something that is quite useful to have. It basically allows the search function within the website to be able to pull up versions of the cut. I think Caroline does this, but it'd be also good to add any keywords in from that you think will be useful into the cut here. Then the link is actually for older versions, so we wouldn't have a PDF link in this instance. And then the date of when it's going to be released. Let's say it's going to be released on Tuesday. So we click save. It then says cut edition successfully created. Okay, fantastic. Now we've created the edition of the cut. We want to create the headings. So after we've created edition, we want to create headings. So you can see that there are already some headings available. Commodities, ESG, macro research, and company and sector research. So if there are some that currently aren't listed in there, I would suggest adding them first. So if we were to add a new one, let's add a new one, which is, let's just call it emerging markets. Cool. Then within emerging markets, what are the subheadings? And you can add subheadings from here. Emerging markets macro, you would then click this arrow to add the subheading to that particular heading, and then emerging markets company sector. So then you have those associated with that particular heading, and then articles we haven't created yet. So let's hit save. So the heading is now successfully created. Now the next thing to do, we've got headings and we've also got subheadings, is to create an article. So as I'll go back again, as I mentioned, the article is this section here, right, with all of the information, actually all of this section here. So if we go back to here and we want to add a new article, okay, so the edition is, we've just created the edition 107, I believe. Yeah, there it is. You can also search, I think. The research provider, so this will be a list of research providers you can also search. So let's say that the research provider is going to be 281st. There it is. So you need to put that in. The subheading is going to be emerging markets. There. The article title. Okay, well let's just choose. Let's choose this title. So let's talk about Greggs. That's the article title. The article content is what sits underneath it here. So if we do that, maybe not put the, oh no, that's supposed to be part of it. Then the footnote is for anything that sort of is related to it. So it's in small print. This consumer discretionary will come up as because it's related to the title itself. So you shouldn't need to worry about that. That will come up on its own. We're not going to put any footnote in for this article. So if I click save, hopefully, fingers crossed, the article successfully has been created. Now, we've got an article, we've got an edition, we've got headings and subheadings. We should be able to see our edition. So if we open up a new tab and we go to, not this one, but independentresearchforum.com when it's available, and we click on the cut, we look at editions. There we see our edition 107. We click on edition 107, and there it is. There's our article. Emerging markets, macro, Greggs, sector. Provider is 281st, and there is the article itself. Let's put in another one just so that we can see the example. So now we've created one article. It's time to let's create another one. Let's add, this is for edition 107 still. The research provider, it's going to be for by global research. Subheading, let's just do general. And then article title, let's call it, well, let's just choose the next one down here. Do free. Article content. footnote will leave clear as well. Cool. So that article was successfully saved. We can now go back to our, not sure why I got rid of it. Cut. Oh, it's here. We hit refresh, and there they are, 2 of them. If you decide that you don't want to use this article or you want to change it in any way, that's also totally fine. We can go back here. We can go and look at our articles. We can see the one we just chose. Okay, say we want to edit it. We press that pencil. Sorry, I did that a bit quickly. You press the pencil on the right hand side, and it takes you to the article that you just created, and you can change whatever you want in there. So that's totally fine. We can do that. Let's change the subheading from that to ESG. Hit save. We can do that too, and you can also do the same, exactly the same for subheadings and headings too. So if we check refresh now, there we go. ESG is the heading, the subheading ESG as well, and then we have our article in there too, and it's also listed on the left hand side. The idea of this left-hand side panel is that actually the thing that is highlighted is whatever's on the screen. So it will stick, and you can't see it now, but it will stick if the article's really long. And what the users can do is they can see, okay, I'm only interested in ESG, and then if it's far down the page, they click ESG, and then it scrolls to ESG for them to be able to read. So it's a nice, easy sort of easy navigator. So that is that. It'll be interesting to hear how you get on over the next few days, because I know that you're due to release it on Thursday. Please feel free to give me any questions or anything like that. Just give me a call. I'll send you my phone number and email as well, just in case. With any questions that you might have, and if it does become too much, we can always revert back to the old way of doing things for the time being, and then we can have another session like this to just zone in on any questions that you might have. But hopefully it's not too tricky, and we can get it up and running for Thursday. Thanks very much, guys, and look forward to speaking soon. Bye.